Thank you. I've been waiting for this clock for so long. I mean, yeah, I'm really happy that I'm done with Kumon and also going to college and stuff. I know that like in a lot of my college essays, and stuff I wrote about Kumon, just because it's showing Kumon is something that you do in addition to school. It shows that you like care about what you're learning. It shows that you have an interest in math. It shows that you are supplementing what you learn in school with other things. It shows that you practice. So I know that I wrote a lot about my completion of the Kumon program in my college application and just a lot of other things I've thought about it. So I think it's really nice once you complete it. You see like how much you've accomplished, how many topics you've covered. I think that's really cool. So yeah, I think I started Kumon, at least at the Mansfield Center, 6th grade. I started with G. That's just because I did the other levels of Kumon before at a different center. But I remember at the beginning, a lot of it was kind of like, it was very different from what I was doing in school. So I guess it was kind of challenging at the beginning just because I didn't know what I was doing because it wasn't backed up with what I was doing at school. But as like I grew and like as I was doing like more levels and stuff, and as school kind of like started to catch up with what I was doing, I definitely saw the benefit of it because there was like a definite like overlap, and eventually what I was doing in Kumon was helping me in school. And it's always nice to know that like when you're in class and when you're with all your other like classmates and stuff, that you're kind of like ahead of the game. A lot of times I remember I'd finish all my work really quickly and then you'd be able to help other people. So I think it's just a lot more comfort that you find in math. I know that math is definitely a very difficult subject for a lot of students, and having Kumon, like, you know that you're complementing like your education, you know that you're practicing all the time, and just that adds a lot to your confidence, and it just makes you more comfortable in school, I guess. Yeah, so there's all the levels of Kumon. I think they transition really well. I know that the beginnings of every level is kind of like a review of the past level. So I think in that way, it's like very well connected. I think it's a very like smooth transition after you take one achievement test and go into the next level. So I think that that's really good. And in school, I guess that it's a lot more kind of like blocked off and separate. I mean, you have like pre-algebra, then you have algebra 2, then you have geometry in there, and everything is kind of like separate courses. And I think that it's different with Kumon because everything is interconnected, and I think with that you see the relation that everything in math has to each other, and I think that that's really helpful. You see kind of the purpose of each subject that you're learning. I know that definitely in the later levels, some of the concepts that you learn in one level, you learn them again in the next level with a different topic or a different idea. So I think that just that overlap is really important. So I know that Kumon I know it's not always like the most fun thing to do, but I think that you have to like, I think it's important to be enthusiastic about it, and I know that that's hard sometimes, especially as you get older and as you have like more homework when you're in high school with all your extracurriculars. I know it's hard to find time, but I think it's important to have that time. At some point you just have to put it aside. I know that I haven't always been like, yay, it's Kumon, like I'm gonna go do it now, but I think that it's like important to kind of space it out. You just have to realize that in the end it's helping you. So yeah, I think that in the end, like definitely towards like my program completion, I learned to be more enthusiastic about it. And once you start seeing the benefits of it in your school and your classes, I think that just increases like your enthusiasm for it as well. Yeah, I mean naturally in school, your homework and stuff, it's checked daily, so you have someone that's there, and obviously you don't want to face them with not having completed your homework. So yeah, I think your parents have to take that role at home. They should be checking your homework, I guess. They should be like, have you done it? They should push it. But yeah, I think naturally, Kumon, I guess a lot of people just see it as an extracurricular because it's not done in school, but I think that I guess it should be seen as a supplement to school rather than as an extracurricular that's something totally different, and I think that having that mindset might prevent that. Yeah, I think your parents play a really big role because obviously here, you're only here like 1 or 2 days of the week, and so like the people here can't like just push you to do your homework and stuff. Like your parents have to be involved in it. I know that grading homework isn't easy for them either. That takes time as well, but I think it's important to do it daily and fix your mistakes like as soon as like you make them, because that's how you learn. And it's important to have those discussions with your parents, like when they see one of your mistakes, them being able to talk to you and I'm telling you, oh, you messed this up, and like they can go through that process with you, I guess. I know my parents, It's harder when you get to the higher levels because they might not remember integration and differentiation, all these advanced topics. But I think they definitely helped me, and they definitely motivated me, at least by playing a role in homework grading. So yeah, I think that that's very important too. Yeah, I guess I have to admit there were days when I just didn't do Kumon and it ended up piling up and I did it the night before. I know that a lot of people might have been in that same situation. It's not ideal, but sometimes that's just the only way to do it. But I would say that you should start out by I know time management is very important. You should set aside a certain time in your day to just do Kumon. Maybe do it before your homework because you might be more inclined to finish your homework than Kumon, I guess. I know some nights I would be like, oh, I finished all my homework, I'll just do Kumon tomorrow. So maybe doing Kumon first might be a good way to prevent that the first thing in your day. But yeah, I know that sometimes it just piling up at the end is inevitable, but I think that just definitely put effort into it and give it priority. First of all, just reaching that final level, that adds a lot of confidence, I guess, and you realize how much math you've learned throughout this whole process, and that makes you more confident and comfortable in school. But I guess once you reach O, which is just the applications of calculus, and once you see, like I said, the Kumon levels are very interconnected, and once you see kind of the relation that all of math has throughout in school, you just have a greater understanding and depth of what you're learning. I know a lot of times in school my classmates would be like, oh, what's the point of this? Why are we learning factorization? Why are we doing all of this? And once you reach O and once you see oh, you can use factorization with functions to find maxima and minima, to find different properties of functions and situations, I think that just gives you a better understanding and depth. You see why you're learning what you're learning. So yeah, I think that once you reach O, you just have a greater depth and understanding. I know that O, at least for me, what I learned in O is what I'm learning in AP Calculus, so. Yeah, I think you look for small victories, I guess. Getting 100 on your math test or math quiz, or just an A on your math test or math quiz, and knowing, oh, this might have been because I practiced this in Kumon. Because obviously there is a relation between what you're doing in Kumon and what you do in school. There's only so much homework you get in your math class. Kumon is just more homework, it's more practice, and it's all about practice, I guess. So yeah, I would take it as small victories. Everything that you learn in Kumon is a victory in itself. You're learning a new concept. You've mastered that concept by doing so many problems. And so yeah, you might not see the long-term benefit right now, but at least from my experience, I definitely see all the benefits and all the help that it gave me in school. So I guess have faith in me, but just have faith that it'll help you soon, I guess. Yeah. It all adds. I'd say maybe my junior year, as SATs were coming, I was like, is this really necessary? Why am I still doing this? But once you get so close and once you see how far you've come, it's not worth, I wouldn't just give it up. Once you've done so much, why would you just leave it, I guess? And plus I've been seeing how it's been helping me, especially with SAT math problems. A lot of people have struggled with them, but I think that having done Kumon, you just do it a lot faster, because SAT problems, I see a lot of connection with Kumon problems, and you're just more comfortable with it. You can do them more quickly, because at Kumon, accuracy and also speed is those are the two big components. So with SAT, that's what matters the most too. So I think that stuff like that, it's just very helpful, and you see the benefits right away once you're kind of in high school and once you have all these exams and stuff. So even when the going gets tough, I'd say keep going. Yeah, I'd say that even though, yeah, I go back to what I said about small victories. I know that a lot of times it's hard to see the benefit of it. I know that there's obviously maybe playing outside, watching TV, and that might be more interesting at the moment than doing a Kumon packet for 30 minutes. Or when you're in a higher level, maybe not even 30 minutes, but an hour or so. I think that you just have to realize that it's going to help you in the end, and just do it as soon as possible. I know, like I said, there are going to be times when they're going to pile up, when you just can't fit it in your day, but you should catch up. You should realize the benefit of it. Just have faith and trust that what you're learning is going to have a positive effect on you in the future.